who made it to the workshop today. What's up, y'all? Hey, y'all. Welcome back to the AW, your forever safe space to chill, feel, and heal. If you are new here, the AW stands for Eretic's Workshop. I'm Eretic, and the workshop is a space for you to sit in your shadows, reflect on your thoughts, and come out on top. What's up, y'all? Hey, I feel like it's been forever since I have talked to y'all. I did release an episode last week, but as you heard, if you listened to that episode, I was coming from my trip and everything like that. So I had pre-recorded those episodes. So all in all, it's been about 3 weeks since I've actually sat down and recorded. So what's up? It's been a minute. Life literally was lifing. Okay, that's all I gotta say. We all know how life be lifing. Everyone has their own aspects of it, but I'm glad that I'm here. I'm glad that I'm able to continue to share my wisdom with people, share my life with people, and the aspects that I show you, and continue to build this community, because that's really why I'm here, to build a community where we feel safe, where we feel like we can talk about our emotions and we can get down to the nitty-gritty and talk about the hard stuff too, because it's not always about the pretty self-care and just taking a bubble bath type stuff. It's really talking about the stuff that hurts you. Okay, so without further ado, we're going to go ahead and start this week's show, and we're going to go into spin the block. Let's go. Okay, guys, so I think I fell off a little bit of my routine because I'm still just getting used to this job. So that just kind of threw everything. And getting ready for a trip, when you're as bougie as I am, it take a lot. Okay. So there was a lot of different things I had to do, and I just did not find the time. And that's really something I need to work on, because I have a lot of things I want to accomplish, a lot of things that are always on my to-do list, and sometimes I follow the plan and sometimes I don't. And when I don't follow the plan, that's when everything gets crazy. But you also have to account for when you're just not feeling it and you just need a break, because I can plan all these things, and then the day-to-day life of my normal routine and responsibilities that I have to take care of gets so bogged down on me that to-do list is like, girl, I can't do that right now. I have to do it tomorrow or the next day. And then the next day comes and you still just can't find a way to get to it. So we all been there. Some of us are still there. Some of us feel almighty and feel like we can never get there. So we have to stick to a plan. But we always have our ups and downs where it just takes a minute to get into a flow of things. So I feel like I've been trying to find my new flow for about 2 months, 3 months. When I started this job in July. So July, August, September. Yeah, it's about 3 months at this point. So it's very hard to find my flow. And then I was getting ready for my trip and everything like that. But I feel like I am about to find my flow because I'm about to start eliminating things out of my life. So we'll talk about that on another episode. But this episode is just catching you guys up where I've been and all that kind of stuff. So like I said, I was preparing for my trip. I had a lot of fun in New York. As soon as I stepped back into the city, I was like, it's official. I got to move here. I have to move there. And to me, I need to move there because it's going to be my step right before I move out of the country, because that's my ultimate goal, to live internationally and be an expat somewhere. But New York is an international hub. That's where a lot of people who try to come to the US to change their life or just want to change and live in a different country, they go to New York first because it's just the hub. And it's like a mini arsenal of just different cultures. It's amazing. And it's like the moment I get off the plane in New York, I always know that it's New York because it's so hard to find an American. And I love that. It's just like so many different people in one spot and so many different possibilities. So I'm not going to take you guys through my whole entire trip, but I did a lot of fun things. I walked a lot, took a lot of Ubers, all that good stuff. And I had to say my funnest night there was probably that Friday, because Me and my friend, we just lived it up. Like we went out, we were out all day and then we came back and went out to dinner and then went out to the clubs and anytime I'm a clubber, I love to go to bars and clubs and stuff like that. So to go to ones in New York, they just play better music and the crowd is better. And I also like how everyone don't like to stay in one spot for too long. Like you go here for a little bit, you go there for a little bit, and just have a good time. So we definitely did the tradition that you do when you go to a big city, party till like 4 a.m. in the morning. So like that was really fun. And it was everything my soul needed. Like I just haven't partied like that in a while, especially being in my transition, trying to just change my life. You have to give up some things in order to, build and then be able to go back to it once you are built in a specific, space that is good for you at the moment. So I'm in that space where I'm able to party and stuff now, and that's like really fun. But I am going back into hermit mode so that I can get back to building my dreams and my goals and stuff like that. So it was really fun. We also went to the music festival Afropunk while we were out there. And I have to say, I did not have that much fun at Afropunk. I had more fun in the city, like on Thursday and Friday. We went to Afropunk on Saturday and Sunday. So it just wasn't that fun. Saturday was the best day if I had to pick a best day because I got to see Isaiah Rashad and Tierra Whack. And I love both of them. I mean, love them down. And when Isaiah Rashad came out, I just literally lost my mind. So if you never seen me lose my mind before for a concert, you'll see it one day, maybe. Who knows? But I'm a dancer at heart. I've been dancing since I was like in elementary school. So concerts are like a huge dance floor for me. And when it's my favorite artist, it's just like everybody move out the way because I'm about to get crazy, okay? Like I need to let it go, let it flow, okay? And I just been having so much fun. So that was really fun. And Isaiah Rashad, he's like a jazzy hip hop guy. And so that means like he still has like flowy, nice beats and sounds and melodies and stuff like that. But when he get hype, he know how to get hype. And it's just really, really fun. It's right up my alley because I'm a person who will dance to a slow song like it's a fast song. Of course on beat, but I just be having moves that I could just insert into these slower songs. And that's just how much I feel the beat and the rhythm and stuff like that. So that's exactly what I did. And that's what I do at concerts and stuff. So yeah, it was a good time on Saturday. Sunday it rained all day and there were like no artists there that I really wanted to see. So that was a kind of a bummer. And now I know that I'm gonna wait for the lineup now for this festival because at first it was just the festival in general. I didn't really care about who was on the lineup, but after it being the way that it was this time, I'm like, I'm kind of gonna wait for the lineup because I didn't enjoy the festival just by itself, and it also wasn't that many people that it was last time. Like I feed off of people's energy, so if it's a lot of people and they're all having a good time, I'm probably gonna have a good time. If it's like half the people and everyone's kind of like mellow, then I'm gonna be mellow, And so that's kind of what it was giving. They also had less stages this year. Last year they had, not last year, but 2019 they had 3 stages, and every stage was always packed for every performer. This year they had 2 stages, and only one stage will be packed at a time. So that lets you know like how many people didn't come to this one. But it was also New York Fashion Week, the fall edition. So every celebrity and their mama was in New York at that time. And I'm so mad I didn't see any of them. But that also lets you know why people weren't at Afropunk, because they had other things to do. So sounds like a scheduling thing, but not for me to determine. I just know that I'll wait for the lineup. But I did do VIP this time, and I will say I don't think I can do general admission ever again anywhere. Like I'm trying to tell you I'm bougie, and I don't care. But the VIP section was lit because they made a pathway for you to get really close to the stage. So there was a stage and they had general admission who could make their way to the front and get really close. But then they also had VIP where it was just automatically closed, and it was just so nice. I was just like, this is amazing. I don't have to fight people to get to the front. And it was just really fun. So I was able to get closer to the artist and, just really, really feel the music. But other than that, I had a good time with the food. The food, I love New York food because it's a lot of different cultures. It's not just like bland American food and it's not unhealthy Southern food. I'm a Southern girl at heart. I will always be a Southern girl, but our food is very unhealthy and I really like to eat healthy food. So, and no, we're not going to say I'm not going to eat fried chicken and cornbread and all that kind of stuff. Like, I'm still going to eat it. I love that stuff. I just like a healthy balance. So, in my day-to-day life, you can see me eating like vegan once a week, salads most of the time, and then when I have my cravings, I'm gonna get my fried chicken. So the fact that I don't have access to healthier things here in the South makes me just love New York even more because it's just like you just have that all the time. And it's way healthier. You just have a healthier lifestyle, even though it's a big city that has unhealthy things in it, because you have to walk everywhere or take the subway or whatever. So it's just like you automatically feel better because you're outside and you're moving your body, and then the food is good. So it's just like, I love New York and definitely about to start making steps to move there next. So mark my words, mark my words. Yeah, so that was my trip. I had a good time with my friend. We had a good time, and our Airbnb was amazing. Okay, 420 friendly, so that's all I gotta say. And yeah, our host was amazing. The people that we met there were amazing. Everything was really fun. So I'm just gonna have to make a trip to New York just to experience New York because every time I've been, it's always been for Afropunk. So I just need to go just to experience New York because I just fall in love so much every time that I go, and it's just amazing, and everybody there is fine. So it's just like a candy store of experiences, people, and food. Why would I not want to live there? Okay. So, yeah, work has been work. Work has been work. Okay. Just know that I'm looking for another job and we're going to leave it at that. Yeah, besides that, that's the only thing that's really been popping was me going on my trip. And then now that I've been back from my trip, it's been about, what is today? I just feel like I'm lost in the matrix. What is today? It is the 23rd or 4th, one of them. So it's been about a week and a half or so since I've been back, a week and a half, 2 weeks or so. And I've had to definitely recuperate. I definitely had to recuperate. I definitely took the day off after I got back from work because I learned my lesson way too many times in the past of going back to work the day after you come back because you just don't be in work mode at all. Not that you ever be in work mode when you come back from a vacation, but you really don't be feeling it if you just got off the plane the day before. So it took me an extra day and just relaxed, got my life together, unpacked, clean my house up a little bit or whatever. It was already clean because, ain't nothing like coming back from a vacation to a clean house. So I just picked up a little things that got crazy when I had to pack and go crazy. Oh, I didn't let you guys know that by the time I got in New York, I had been running off of 8 hours in 2 days of sleep. Yeah, I was really tired. And so by the time when I got on the plane to go to New York, they didn't even finish boarding and my neck was broke because I was asleep and I was so tired. I had to get up at okay, I ended up going to bed at like 1 a.m. just to get up at 3 a.m. And I laid down because I was like, well, I'm gonna get something in. I mean, like laid down, y'all. Took a shower, put my scarf on and everything. Laid down like I was about to get 8 hours of sleep and literally got like an hour and a half. And I was just like, great, this is amazing. So I almost missed my Uber because I was taking forever. And it was like 3:45 in the morning and I had 2 hours, not even 2 hours, like an hour or so. And when I got in the car, my Uber driver talked the whole way to the airport. And it wasn't no regular talk, y'all. It was like, yeah, da 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 da. He was just going off about how people don't like to respect COVID and how they don't want to wear a mask in his car and how he leaves people if they don't wear a mask in his car and how they don't want to put on seatbelts and all this stuff. And I was just like, this is great, but like, I'm so tired. Like, I'm so tired. I don't want to hear none of this. I don't care. I don't care. So I was polite about it though and kept talking to him. It was only a 15-minute drive. So I was like, great. Cause I could have just took my car and parked it at the parking garage in the airport, but it was just cheaper to just take a Uber for 15 minutes than pay for parking for 4 to 5 days. It was just cheaper. So I was like, I'll deal with it. But got on the plane, and I'm trying to tell you, neck was literally broke, and it didn't make no sense. Like, it was like by the time we pulled off, I woke up and was like, "Oh, we're pulling off. Okay." That's how tired I was. So, all in all, I had a really great trip. It was nice to get away from the normal life that I live every day. And yeah, I'm glad I could catch you guys up on it and let you guys know I had a good time. I made it back safe and sound. That's all that really matters. And I just can't wait to go back. Truly can't wait to go back. It's my heart. I have my New York ring on right now. I bought one. If you guys can see it, if you are watching this on YouTube, I don't know if the camera is, I forgot. I put on the focus lock and exposure lock. So it's not going to focus on me getting closer. But from here, if you can see it, it says the NY ring on there. I got that. I'm just like, I'm a New Yorker now. Totally not a New Yorker, but I will be one day, at least a resident of New York. So, but other than that, that has been Spin the Block. Just wanted to catch you guys up on my trip. And I hope you guys have been having a great time. Thank you for sticking with me. Also, when I was out in New York, y'all were like ramping it up. I was getting some new followers. I was getting a lot of likes on one of my older promo videos and the podcast. I got some extra listeners and I was like, hey, I don't know where y'all came from, but what's up? So, take a break, y'all, because when you take a break, things start happening. But other than that, that is all that I have for Spin the Block. So we're going to go ahead and get right into a word from the fam. So today I have a word from the fam from someone who left a comment on one of my promo posts. I don't know which promo post it was, but when they left it, it stood out to me so much. It was really simple too. And most people who would see this would be like, oh, it's a negative naysayer. They need to go on about their business or block or whatever. But I was like, this person is right. I don't know if they're he, she, whatever. So I'm just going to say they. But this person's tag is at Martin7341. Don't know who it is. It could be a bot for all I know. But just what they said was just like, I feel you. Okay. What Martin7341 said is, I hate all this positive thinking crap. I hate this positive thinking crap. Okay. I feel this person, okay? Because it's like, we can sit up here all day and talk about how you need to be positive, love, and light, and how you need to take care of yourself, and how things are going to get better. But in the thick of things, things aren't better at that moment. Things feel like shit, and I don't want to be positive about it, And there is a such thing as toxic positivity when you were just overly positive, overly hopeful, and not facing the reality and the logic behind things that are happening. So I agree with this person. And even though this person came in defense to what I was saying and like, can you stop being so positive because you're triggering me in a way, it still was a very truthful statement to say. Like, a lot of people do get sick of hearing all the positive stuff. I get sick of it. I'll be scrolling on Instagram and sometimes I want to laugh at some negative stuff. And it's just like, this is trash, but it is so funny and it makes me feel good right now. It's helping me cope with whatever I'm going through until I'm able to go back and work on whatever I'm going through. So sometimes we got to take a break from the positivity, and sometimes we just have to deal with the reality of the situation, deal with the negativity, have balance, duality, good versus bad, bad versus good. They work hand in hand. And sometimes we just can't be positive all the time. Sometimes we just got to do what we can do and just try to make it through. Okay. So shout out to Martin7341. You're a real one for leaving this, even though I irritated your soul in that moment. So yeah, you guys, take a note. Just remember that it's okay to not be positive all the time. You gotta have duality. And that is it from A Word from the Fam. If you would like to be featured on A Word from the Fam, you can always find me on IG at the.w.podcast and on Facebook. And I would say TikTok, but I really don't be putting nothing on TikTok, so you can forget about TikTok until I get back on there. But really just on IG, I drop my promos all the time. You can leave a comment, and if you want to be featured, let me know. And if not, tell me don't say nothing about it, or just don't leave a comment because I'm going to say something. So yeah, That's it. Also, if you want to watch this podcast, you can always watch it on YouTube at the a.w.podcast. You can listen anywhere that you get podcasts on, unless you can't. Then you can let me know. All right. So, without further ado, we're going to get into this week's topic in fellowship hours. Let's go ahead and head to the fellowship hall, y'all, and get it started. So, as you guys see by the episode title, we're talking about falling in love with the potential. Okay. This is really huge because we do it all the time. I know that I did it all the time. And it's just something that we need to talk about because we stay falling in love with the potential of things and not seeing the reality of things. And some people don't see the potential at all and don't give anything a chance. But we're not talking about that today. We're talking about the ones that just fall in love with what could be. And this could be in relationships, career, normal situations, just your life in general. Falling in love with the potential and not the reality. So I want to talk about, why do we fall in love with the potential? What makes us fall in love with the potential? Why does the potential feel so good to fall in love with? Well, one of the main reasons that I see is because we just want love. You know, we want love back, and we see that this thing can give us the love that we're looking for. This relationship can give us the love we're looking for. This career can help us fall in love with the work that we do. You know, we just see the potential in things, and sometimes seeing the potential is good because it helps you to work towards that thing. But when you put that expectation on it and then it doesn't go through, then you're sitting there like, what? Why? You know? And so that comes from a place in you that feels empty, a void in you that's just like, well, I want this to work for me. I want love. I want this thing to happen for me. Another reason that I discovered is that we're all impatient. We live in a microwave society, super fast, convenient. Everything is just at our fingertips. And so the fact that we'll have something that's in our possession that we're like, oh yeah, this could be what I want it to be. We're like, I don't really want to wait on nothing else that could potentially be what I potentially already see. So let me just go ahead and stick with this because it could potentially be better, and it will potentially be better. You know, we start to believe these things that we tell ourselves because we're impatient and we just want everything to be okay right now. We don't want to wait and see if it's going to get better. We don't want to see if something better is going to come along. We just want to get there already. And that is really my problem. Like, I always just want to get there. I'm just like, can we just stop talking and stop doing all this in between stuff so I can just get there? That's how I feel about conversations. Like, I don't like small talk. Let's just talk about something deep. I don't want all the fluff. Okay? I don't want all that. Let me just get to where I want to be. And this thing look like it's going to get me there. So I'm going to keep feeding this because it's the closest thing I can grab onto. And I don't know what this future talking about, but I know what I'm doing right now. So I'm being impatient and not really waiting on anything because this look close enough, you know? And like I said, relationships, career, projects, whatever. This looks close enough, so I'm gonna stick with this. Forget the rest. Another reason that ties into, of course, all the other reasons is being fearful of change and being stubborn to what you want. So when you want what you want, it's kind of, you have tunnel vision. You don't really see the other avenues that are coming your way or the other things that you can do to get to where you want to be because you're like, no, I want what I want, and this is what I want, and this is what I'm gonna get. So I'm gonna be stubborn towards that. I'm gonna be fearful to change because that's messing up my whole everything. And I'm just going to stay in what I'm in right now because this is comfortable, this is working, and it looks like it's gonna go up for me, you know? And like I said, don't get that messed up with things that you do need to stick to because you do see the actual potential coming for you. It's those things that aren't really giving you that potential. You just feel like you see the potential, you know, and it's hard to have discernment with that when it comes to, is this really a potential, you know what I'm saying? Or is this something that I just want so bad that I can't let go of? And I really want it to work for me. So I'm going to look for the potential. The potential hasn't hit me in the face. I literally went through and dug around to see, oh yeah, that's going to be the potential. And the last reason I have of why we look so hard for the potential is that we've lost hope in what we truly deserve coming towards us. So what I mean by that is, If we were to be patient and to just try different things that make us feel good and try things that actually give you the reward that you're looking for rather than the reward of the possible potential that's coming towards you, you will be able to sit back and see the things that are coming your way rather than holding on to that thing of the potential. So losing hope just ties in with being impatient and being stubborn and just wanting love so bad and wanting something to work so bad that you've just lost hope that anything better could come for you. Anything that's going to match your vibration and your energy and just your everything better will come along. You've lost hope for that because you see what you see right now and you have tunnel vision towards it. You can't see beyond that. And it's just a dangerous spot to be in because you've limited yourself. You've fallen into that self-limiting belief that I'm only deserving of this thing that's right here in front of me. I'm not deserving of what I truly want. I don't have hope for what's really going to come my way or what could come my way. So it's like when you fall in love with the potential, maybe you should shift your potential outlook to the future rather than this thing that is right in front of you. So, in other words, like if you're in a relationship or something like that, and this person isn't showing you exactly what you need in a relationship or what you want, but you see that they have the potential to grow because they've changed in different ways in y'all's relationship and they continue to grow, but they're still not hitting what works for you. Because you see that potential and because you want love so bad and you want this person in this relationship so bad, you're willing to settle and wait for them to get to the level that you want them to be at because you're impatient to sit and wait for the right thing to come along because right now this makes you feel good, you know? And so that's what I mean, how we're just so in this right now, the present moment, which we should be. We should be living in the present moment, but we also have to think about our future because if you were in a career and this career wasn't matching the giving you the skills or giving you the experience that you really want to have, what sense would it make to be like, oh yeah, this potential of this job, of me being here for a while, is going to help me get to a better job in the future? I mean, some of the skills would, but it's not really going to get you to exactly where you want to be because it's not really matching what you want in this moment, you know? And so you're kind of out of alignment because you're just settling because you have hope for this thing. But it's like we're putting our hope in the wrong space. We should put our hope in the possibility of getting of what we truly deserve, not of making this thing that's currently in our life work. We shouldn't try to make it fit. We should try to look for what actually does fit and then grow from that. But a lot of us don't see that because we're just like, oh, well, we have to go through the mud. We have to, go through the shitty part of life, which means not liking everything that I do, which of course, yes, you're not going to like everything you do, but you can definitely do things that are more in tune with you, things that are really going to help you grow and learn how to be patient for things to come that actually are going to work better in your experience of life. So there's a specific space and different avenues that you end up in when you fall in love with the potential. So you end up upset and confused, frustrated, hitting dead ends, and you also start to portray a lack of self-worth because you're staying in this thing, not feeling like you have better things that you deserve and truly want coming towards you. And last but not least, you're stuck in cycles until that lesson is learned. You will continue to go through that lesson and continue to go through that lesson of this potential thing that you want so bad until you learn that you have to let that go in order for something better to come. It's hard for us to let it go because we want to feel so good in the moment. And a lot of us don't know how to make ourselves feel good without another person, without another situation, without anything. We don't know how to just feel good and feel content, grateful, happy, and, just feel okay with life without having all of the extra stuff. So that leads me to the point that you have to take things at face value. You know, you can't look at things and be like, oh, yeah, we could do this, we could do that, we could do this, and then hang on to it because we definitely want to be inspired. We definitely want to plan ahead. We definitely want to look at things and be like, oh, yeah, let me see the potential in that because it could go further. But when we hang on to that and things aren't going further for us, that's where the falling in love with potential is very hindering to you and leads you to those dead ends and being upset and confused and not knowing what you should do in your life because you're chasing something that hasn't really shown you the signs that it's really going to be to your benefit, and it's really more to your detriment because you were letting other things pass you by because you want this thing that you're so laser focused on. You should just never base your actions and your decisions on the potential of anything. And it's a very controversial thing to say because it's like, well, we have goals and we have dreams. So why wouldn't I base my actions and my choices off of this thing that I want to reach? And it's like, yes, base them off of your goals. Don't base it off of your current reality because then well, let me not say that. You can base it off of your current reality. Don't base it off your current potential that you see in other things outside of yourself. Because the moment that that does not work, then you're like, but it has to work. It has to work. Like, I know it. I see it. I see that potential. Like, it's going to work. It has to, you know? And the people who have been through this are going to understand me because I dealt with this with a particular situation for like 12 years. Okay. A long time of seeing the potential in something and it just not working out. And it's just like, okay, you kind of wasted your time, but you also learned some lessons and gained some experience. So how can you take this into the next chapter of your life and learn how to see the potential when it's there, but move like it hasn't happened because it has not happened. Continue to move and take those strides towards things that are actually happening and have that, you know, in your peripheral. Keep moving towards what you want to move towards. And when it does pop like it is, you've been pouring into it, just not putting your full laser focus into it, if that makes sense. So, my advice is to just not base your full actions and decisions on the potential of anything. You should go off of what you really want. And if that thing that is currently in your life and merely just an accessory to your life is not what it is or what it needs to be in your life, then you have to keep it as an accessory and not the main product. You know, you have to continue to do what is leading you towards what you want and that potential that you really want to gain and not focus on that thing that has the potential to do it. Pour into it, please, but don't focus on it. That's all I'm saying. You need to focus on you and what you can do and not what a situation or a person or anything, a career or anything can do for you. What can you do for yourself? So you guys know what time it is. It's example time, okay? So for me personally, number one of the things that I always found the potential in, but just ended up getting the shorter end of the stick was love and relationships. So my most prevalent, I guess you could say, relationship that I've had, I saw a lot of potential in. You know, I was going to marry this person, I was going to start a family with this person, I was creating a life with this person, and it was all based off of the potential. Not to say that we didn't grow throughout the years we were together. You know what I'm saying? We definitely grew. We started at a certain point and ended on a certain point. But the potential that I had in my head was totally different from the outcome. I saw this person in a light that I was like, this person is amazing. You know what I'm saying? This person has a beautiful personality, a beautiful spirit, and I would love to raise kids with a person like this, you know, in my life. I would love to share a life with this person, build with this person, have businesses with this person, do all these things with this person, and build just a holy grail of a family with this person. But I wasn't facing the reality of the situation. The reality of the situation was this person was not, ready for family material. Not to say they would never be, but they were not in that mindset I was. Not to say that I was ready to have a baby like at 20 or 21 or anything like that, but I was making strides in my life so that when I hit the age of 30 to 35 to 40 or whatever, whenever I have kids, that I will be good. You know what I'm saying? And this person necessarily wasn't necessarily doing that, but I was in love with the potential of what I saw they could do. I'm like, when that person did apply themselves in a certain way, I was in love with it. And I'm just like, well, you did it one time before. Why can't you just keep doing it? And I know that you'll do it. But then that person kind of just showed me who they really were, or not that they always showed me who they were. I just actually opened my eyes and realized, like, you're in love with something that has not happened to you. You're in love with something that has not been given to you. You're in love with the possibility of this person giving it to you, and you're in love with the possibility of what could come of this situation. But none of this has happened. You know what I'm saying? Like, none of this has happened. And you have not felt as good as you think that you feel. Like when you really look back at it, you've actually not felt that good about this relationship. But because you see what you see, and because you love this person and you want what you want with this person, and you're being very stubborn, and you don't think anyone in the world could ever treat you like this person has treated you, you feel like this is all you have. And you feel like this person will reach the limit in the level that you want a person in your life of that magnitude to be at. And that was wrong on my part, for sure, because it was just like, you can't put anyone up to that level of standard if they're not already meeting that. Like, if they're not already there, you can't expect them to get there just because that's what you want. You have to move on and make yourself available for what is already at that level to come into your life and show you, like, hey, there is somebody who's going to love you more than that person loves you. There is someone who's going to be the holy Mecca family person that you want. There is somebody that you can build a business with. There is someone who matches your energy, but you're so stuck on this person because you want what you want, and you saw a vision, you saw your whole life with this person, and now it's hard to let that go because you knew this is what it was. That's the track you guys were going on. So, like, why wouldn't it be? And so that was like big for me. And I didn't get out of that until like 2019. You know what I'm saying? Like, that, it was a long time for me to be stuck in that. And I was just really just like, this is what I want, like, this is who I want. This is what I want. We will be together. We will have a family, and we will build a life together. So I'm not going to let that go. Like, what do I look like? Why would I give up now? And I put in all this time. But when people aren't showing you what you want, why force it? Why believe this thing that has not happened to you? Why continue to feed into this thing that's not feeding into you? And so that's what falling in love with the potential feels like, especially from my standpoint when it came to my relationships and love. Well, really my love relationships, because friendship relationships are a little bit different. I went through that too, but we're going to get to that later. Yes. I was looking at my notes. I'm like, did I write that? Yes. So that was me in love. And I feel like that's always been me in love. So that's something that I still need to work on, because all of my relationships I've been in, I just had an unrealistic expectation of what I wanted it to be, except for noticing the reality of the situation and being okay with the reality and going my separate way. I was so fixated on what it should be and what it can be. That gets you hurt, that gets you left to the side, and that gets you feeling lost. It just is like, well, I knew what I knew, but now I don't know anything. So, like, what what should I do? I don't know. So yeah, y'all, that was a real moment for me, because real moment right now and a real moment back then, because it was just like, my life is crumbling. Like, I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do. And I truly, y'all, truly felt in my heart that the person that I was with, I would never be treated like that again, because I really felt like I was treated like a queen and I always got my way and like I always had somebody looking after me and I just had someone who really showed love for me like I had never in my life felt before, like truly like never felt this type of love in my life from anyone in my life ever. And so that's something that'll get you messed up when you experience something for the first time and you let other things slide because that feels so good, then you tend to shake your life up because you're ignoring very important things, you know? So I had to come to terms and realize, like, okay, this potential thing ain't really working because I'm actually being more hurt than loved in this moment. And so I really had to sit with myself and have a real moment, have a real ass moment. Okay. And the more that I say it, every time that I bring it up and every time I sit with myself or I talk to my friends and bring up the situation, it still hurts. And it's just like, I really wanted that. It's like a kid at a toy store, and you're just like, "But I wanted that toy, and now they're not. It's not here. Like what?" Or it broke, or they discontinued it. Like what? What is life? What is life? So that it still hurts to this day, and it's still something that I'm working through, but I feel better that I was able to look back and be like, man, you were really in love with the potential of what the situation could be and not what it really was. And I'm happier being on this end of it rather than the other end, because the other end, it was just pure chaos. But enough about that. We're going to move on to another situation. Let's talk about work. So I had this one job that I love dearly, and I'm pretty sure I've talked about it before. And if I haven't, it was called Shoe Metro. Loved that job. Okay, I was there for like 4 years, and it was like a warehouse job. And most people were just like, "Oh, you want to work in a warehouse?" This wasn't no regular warehouse, y'all. We were literally like a family, and I had just never met so many cool people in my life, and I never liked working until I worked at this job. And so I found myself losing myself in that job because I was enjoying myself so much because I was able to just be myself and I was climbing the ladder. I was becoming a trainer and then I became like a manager. And so I was doing all these things and I was like, you know what? I'll probably just stay here. And looking back on that, I'm just like, girl, yeah, right. No, you're not going to stay here. But I was just like, I'm gonna stay here and climb the ladder and be that person that you just know works here. Like I'm gonna be that person, And looking back on that situation, I realized that it was a very, very toxic work environment. We went through so much stuff in that warehouse. It's really unreal. If I sat here and told y'all about it, y'all be like, what? Why would you stay there? But we all stayed there because we truly felt like family. People left and came, but the people who stayed, it was because we felt like family. We felt comfortable when we came to work. We felt like we could just be ourselves. We felt like we had a good time regardless of the work that we had to do. And that's what really keeps people at jobs. So I found myself losing myself and realizing like, is this what you really want to do? Like I would never forget the day that I was just at work and I was thinking to myself like, you know, I don't think I want to be here that long. I've already been here for 4 years and I don't see myself like staying here forever. So like, what would I want to do if I didn't stay here forever? So I had to really like ask myself all these questions and realize that I was falling in love with the potential of that job place, of the potential of building something that felt like a family. And that's something that I've had to work on and am still working on, is that I chase the potential of a family-like feeling, okay? Because I grew up, well, when I was like between the ages of being a newborn to like the age of 6 or 7, maybe 9, I would say 9 or 10. Let's say 10 years. The first 10 years of my life, I grew up around my family in Georgia. And we always got together for holidays and stuff like that. I was always around my aunties and uncles and my cousins and stuff like that. And after that, never have experienced that again. So it's something that I have a void in, really want to bring into my life. Like I really want to be the matriarch of my family. Like I want a big family that I want to create on my own, because I feel like the family that I had was kind of taken from me because of whatever reason. I don't know why. So I miss that, I miss the memories that I've had with my families and stuff like that. So I found myself falling in love with the potential of potential families around. That is something that's very deep for me because I've always been around a lot of different families that was never my family. So trying to find something that felt like my family, I just wanted to hold on to it and not really move in the direction that's really going to get me to where I want to be. So climbing up the ladder at that job really let me know that I was forgetting about myself. I was forgetting about my true dreams. Yes, I had the dreams of being, having a family, but these people weren't really my family. Like we weren't related, or we weren't like getting that close to the point where they would always be in my life, except for the people who are in my life. Cause I still have a good like 3 people from that job that I'm like, we keep in contact. And one of them's like, literally, we couldn't be closer if we were blood related. So like, that's my sis. Like I met her there, and it's like, I met and fostered some really good relationships from that job. And I learned a lot about myself. But I had to realize that this job was for me to learn about me, learn about the person I was in a relationship with because they work there too, learn about how to foster relationships, and learn how enough is enough and when to leave. And so I actually ended up getting in another relationship while I was at that job. And that person actually helped me to see that you can do anything that you want to do, because this person was an entrepreneur, but they were working for someone at the time, and they just had an entrepreneur spirit. So they were always talking about all the things they wanted to do and how they wanted to go back to school and all this kind of stuff. And I was so inspired, I decided to go back to school. And that's where I met some of my school friends to this day. And because that person, of course, my friends also were like, you need to go to school and do this. But when that person came and they said they were going to school, I was like, well, I want to experience it, because I thought it was so hard to go back to school for some reason. I thought it would, like, all the nuances and paperwork and stuff. I was like, that's just too much. Like, I probably won't even qualify for financial aid. Like, I just had this limited perspective. And I was just like, nah, it probably ain't gonna work. But then this person came that I started dating. They started doing all this stuff. And I was like, you know what? I could do that too. I could do that. What? And so I went and did it. And my life truly changed. Like, it changed off of getting out of that limited mindset of the potential of having this job and possibly climbing up the ladder and making whatever. Like, I didn't even have a goal of what I wanted to make. I just wanted to be in a high position. And I just thought that this job was going to get me there because I had went through 3 or 4 positions at this place. So because I was going up and up and up, I was so married to the idea that this was going to be how I made it, instead of looking at what the business entail really was, what the bigger picture was here. Like, it was hard for me to see, like, this is just a stop along your journey. This is not your destination type of thing. So I definitely had to sit with myself with that. And I give the kudos up to the person that was in a relationship at that time, because they definitely helped me to see you have the world at your fingertips, girl, and you can do whatever you want. And I got a lot of confidence from that relationship, and a lot of triggers came up in that relationship too for me. But all in all, it did help me grow for sure. Recently, I had another experience with falling in love with the potential of a job. And I feel like I'm still battling that to this day. But like I said, I used to work at GameStop. And when I was working there, I would have really good days. I mean, me and my coworkers used to cut it up. Okay. And it's something about where when I feel community and when I feel good around my coworkers, I want to stay, because I'm just like, oh my God, fun people. Let's stay with the people, regardless of the work, regardless of whatever goals I have in life. I want to be around the people. It's always been like that for me. And I had to realize, like, girl, you hate this job. Like, you dread coming here. You get anxiety when you have to do something regarding this job because you just don't like it at all. And sometimes you don't be liking the people because they be hella toxic or just negative or whatever. I would let those days get the best of me. Those days that show me that, hey, this actually might not be that bad. I let those days get the best of me and prolong me leaving, because I was just like, well, it's not that bad. Like, I had a cool day today. Like, that's one day out of 30 each month. You know what I'm saying? Where you are in agony and you had one good day, and now you like, I can stay. My coworkers were cool today. Like, no, that's not what you need to do. I was really falling in love with the potential of loving the job. Like, I was like, potentially I will love this job because I love the people. And that's just where I was at with it, because I had came from that background from Shoe Metro of loving my job because of the people, just forgetting about all of the negative that came with that. Because at Shoe Metro, I definitely had my days where I was like, I'm about to walk out of this job. Like, I'm about to quit today. Okay. Like, no notice, no nothing. I'm about to walk out. I had many days like that, many frustrations, especially being a manager, and many times where I was just like, everybody got me effed up in this thing. Y'all got me real messed up, and I'm really about to go off. And I had multiple times where I went off on like employees as a manager, like went off on people and like have full blown like yelling matches with people, bringing out the worst in me. But I still was like, I like this job because everyone's cool. We feel like a family. Like, no, it was not a good situation. And so that's how I felt at GameStop. It wasn't as bad as Shoe Metro, but that's how I felt. Like I was letting that one good day trump all the bad days. And sometimes it's just like that, especially when you just need to make it through something. Those good days can really help you keep going, but they shouldn't allow you to stay there just because you have one or two good days. You shouldn't. So I also feel that way about my current job right now. It's like most of my days are bad. Okay. Most of my days are just like, I hate it here. Why do I have to keep coming here? Why? I do not like it here. And then I'll have a good day where I'm talking to all my coworkers and we're connecting and talking. I'm just like, you know what? Maybe I'm being dramatic. Maybe I do actually like this job. Maybe I'm just being a brat about it and, just need to persevere through because this is actually something that I do want to do in my career. And then I go back to work and I have my few bad days again. I'm just like, yeah, no, this ain't what I want to do. This is not it. But that 1 or 2 days that I had vibing with my coworkers, it changed my mood. So now I'm like, well, maybe I can do it. And like, no, you don't have to torture yourself and stick around because you see the potential of what it could be on the good days? So I hope that makes sense for y'all. So this next one is about friendships, okay? Because I have had a lot of friends in my life, and not everybody can say that. Some people don't have that many friends, some people have a ton of friends, but I have had a lot of friends, and I used to have so many friends to the point where I would have like little house parties and it would be like 20 people deep in that thing and we'd just be like going to the club, like a lot of friends, just having fun. And I had to realize that all of these friends weren't necessarily for the betterment of me and I would let a lot of things slide. So I remember particularly having this one friend that we're still cool today. Like I'm not cool with any of the people that I used to be closer with, but we used to be really tight. I mean, like hanging out all the time, and I met their family and all that kind of stuff, and they were always around my friends and stuff like that. So I met them when I was in school at a different school. When we would be in school, we would be like besties, always hanging out, going to lunch together, doing all this type of stuff. But then when it came to like actually hanging out outside of school, like it would happen sometimes, but it wasn't what I wanted to be in a friendship. So I fell in love with the potential of us potentially being closer by just letting things slide and be like, it is what it is. Like I'm not gonna be a smothering friend or whatever. They do what they do, we'll connect when we connect type of thing. But then I started to realize, well, in my friendships, I kind of want it to be this way, or else I'm not going to consider you a close friend. Like if we don't communicate on the regular, if you leave me on red, for weeks on end, and well, not even weeks, it would be like months on end, because it's like, I understand we are all busy. You know what I'm saying? And I currently talk to my friends from home through voice notes. And so sometimes we don't get to it until like 2, 3 weeks later because we just be busy. But back then it was literally like one text, like, hey, you want to hang out, or hey, how's it going type of thing or whatever. And no text back. So if like you don't even like want to have the conversation, it's just like, are we really friends? And it's like when you have hella voice notes to reply back to, that's different. But when you have like one text, like you can send us a quick text back a day or two later, even a week later. But if it's like weeks on end and you never really seem to be engaged with me, how close are we and what we doing here? You know what I'm saying? Like we could just be acquaintances. That's cool. I just need to know what it is. And so I found myself wanting more but settling for less and hoping that it would get better. There were a couple of other people that I was friends with, loosely saying friends. I wanted to be their friend because I saw how cool they were, right? And I'm just like, y'all are really cool. We laugh together when we get together. We have a lot of things in common. We should hang, we should do whatever. And they never wanted to hang just with us. They wanted to have like an entourage around, or they just didn't seem interested, right? But me being the person that's just like the initiator, like, let's do something or whatever. I'm like, I don't see no issue with this. If they don't want to hang like that, that's cool. I'll catch them when I catch them, or we can hang with your entourage, whatever. Just settling for less and putting my self-worth down, because I'm like, well, it is what it is. Like, I didn't really see it as, maybe they just don't like you, girl. And maybe they're just trying not to be mean and they want to hang out or whatever, or they want to bring their people so that they can not necessarily burn the bridge, but not necessarily have to have all their attention with you, or whatever the case was. Like, regardless, they weren't being the type of friend that you need in your life and that you want in your life. So why are you looking at them like y'all could potentially be closer friends when they're not even giving you the time of day to foster a relationship in any capacity? So I just had to realize that, like, and start cutting people off. That's like, if we're just acquaintances, don't hit me up for nothing like that. I'm gonna see you when I see you. If you have like a big gathering or something, I'll come. But like us just hanging out, it's just not gonna really work, because when I tried to, you didn't want to. Or when we did, you would be disengaged or whatever. So it's just like, I'm not going to keep sticking around hoping that our relationship flourishes in a different direction. And I know when it's time to go. I know who's here for me. I have my friends in my life who do show me that kind of love that I'm looking for and that I give. But I'm not going to stick around for the ones who just want to be around just because of what I have, or just because they don't want to feel like the bad guy. You know what I'm saying? So it's nice to finally be on that side of the coin as well, where I'm like, I don't have to settle for people who aren't engaged, people who don't want to be here, and for people who are potentially seeing as a good friend. Just because it feels like we should be friends doesn't mean that we should. And that's just something that you have to come to terms with. Don't give your energy up to people who aren't giving you the same energy back, just for the hope that one day it'll be at the potential that you want it to be. Don't do that. It's not healthy, and it just lowers your self-worth every time you engage in that type of situation. So my last note on this, that I want everyone to listen up. Hear ye, everybody. Okay. If you're going to fall in love with the potential of anything or anybody, it should be with yourself. You should fall in love with the potential of yourself and where you see yourself going in life, and fostering the things that you want to come into your reality. Because falling in love with people and situations that don't even show you that they're heading in that direction, or can't even match your current energy, it's just going to get you messed up every single time. So number one, take things for as they are. Always take them as they are. If they're not showing you what it is at that moment, take it for what it is and kindly move along. Number two, you need to learn how to let go, because we like to hold on. I talked about it this whole topic. We like to hold on. We need to learn how to let go, because what's meant for you is meant for you, and it would always come back if it's meant to be. And number three, start realizing that there is an energetic match out there for you that meets your standards and your level, rather than potentially meeting your standards and your energy and your level. Okay. So just know that there is something out there for you that is the right thing and that matches everything about you and will help you grow as well, rather than settling for what could be and what you really want and not seeing the bigger picture of things. So yeah, you guys, I hope that that topic struck a nerve with you and had you thinking, because it's something that I've battled with my whole entire life. I fall in love with the potential of a lot of different things, and then I'll be so butthurt when it doesn't work out. Okay. I'll be so upset about it. And there's no reason to be upset about it. It's just sometimes you just have to deal with it, understand where it came from, move on, and look for what's best for you. And yes, it's going to hurt. Yes, it's not going to feel good. Yes, you're going to be upset. But just know that on the other side of that, things do get better. It's all about duality. Always gonna say that. So without further ado, we're gonna go ahead and take all of this experience and knowledge that we have, marry them together, and create some wisdom in the lab. Let's go, y'all. So, if you guys have not been a part of the lab before, the lab is just a place where I give you guys a shadow working prompt so you can work on yourself and pull out your journals and start writing these questions down. Dig deep, be honest, and come to a better terms with yourself and figure out what are your next steps that you need to move towards in order to work with this shadow that you have. So, this week we have 5 questions. And if you're new here, I always read from my notebook. So, that's what I'm looking down at. Number 1, in the past, how did you fall in love with the potential of others or situations? Okay. Number 1, in the past, how did you fall in love with the potential of others and situations? Number 2, am I currently falling in love with the potential of someone or something? This might hit you. You got to be honest with yourself, because if you are, you need to be real with yourselves. Like, just be real. It sucks. It sucks to change things that you just want it to be what it is, but you'll feel so much better if you change it and invite in the thing that actually is going to make you feel the way that you're hoping you will feel with this thing. So, a note, okay? Number 2, again, am I currently falling in love with the potential of someone or something? Number 3, why do I focus on the potential of a situation rather than what is being shown to me? Y'all gonna be mad at me. You're gonna be like, why she gotta ask all these questions? I don't want to answer this. Number 3, why do I focus on the potential of a situation rather than what is being shown to me? Okay. Number 4, how has falling in love with the potential hindered me in the past? Okay. How has falling in love with the potential hindered me in the past? Number 5, last one. In what ways can I focus on what is true right now than what can potentially be true? Okay. Number 5 again. In what ways can I focus on what is true right now than what can potentially be true? All right. So those are the shadow working prompts for this week. If you guys missed those prompts, if you're watching this video on a YouTube, in the description box, I always write them down there. I just started doing that. So the previous episode, some of them don't have them, but this episode will. And also on my IG at the.w.podcast, you can find the shadow working prompts. I upload them every week as well as my promos and stuff like that. So check them out there. And now we have officially reached my favorite part of the show, y'all. Y'all already know, is a moment. All right, if you are new here, a moment is where we take a deep breath. We just take a deep breath and we just relax, okay? We do a 5-minute meditation following the ear method. For 1 minute, I guide you through that ear method. And the ear method is simply a method that I came up with that is a breathing technique, and it kind of teaches you how to just release your thoughts. So whatever thoughts you have on your mind, you're going to inhale and embrace that thought. You're going to hold and accept that thought, and then you're going to exhale and release that thought. So that is the ear method: embrace, accept, and release. And that's how you can work your way through your thoughts, because it's almost impossible for you to shut your brain off when you're meditating. But the point of meditation is to let all that flow so that you can be present in your everyday life rather than thinking about everything that you could have let go and released during your meditation, right? Before we get started, I want you guys to take a deep breath in and breathe from your diaphragm, not your lungs, because you get a deeper breath always. So let's go ahead and inhale and exhale. All right, you guys, let's go ahead and get started. All right, go ahead and inhale and embrace, hold and accept, exhale and release. Inhale and embrace, hold and accept, exhale and release. Inhale and embrace, hold and accept, exhale and release. Inhale and embrace, hold and accept. Exhale and release. Inhale and embrace. Hold and accept. Exhale and release. The next 4 minutes are all for you. Welcome back, you guys. Welcome back. Welcome back to your consciousness. I hope you guys had a great meditation. Good old 5 minutes that you gave yourself because you deserve, okay? But without further ado, that has been this week's episode. It's been so great to be back. I love doing this. Like, I really do love doing it. I have my moods where I just be like, oh my God, I'm just going to lay in the bed all day because I'm just tired. But I got up and I was like, nope, like, If there's anything you love to do, you love to do this podcast. So if you can get up and go to work and do something that you don't want to do, you can get up and do something that you love to do. Point blank, period, right? So I'm happy to be here with you guys. Thank you for joining me this week in the workshop. I hope you guys have a fabulous week. Don't forget to hit me up on IG at the.w.podcast, Facebook as well. Watch me on YouTube and stream us anywhere that you want to stream us, okay? It has been a pleasure working with you guys in the shop this week, and I look forward to our next session together next Monday, all right? See you guys later. Bye. DAW. DAW. And we, I have a mirror right there, y'all. That's where I'll be looking. If I'm not looking here, I'm looking in the mirror. Bye, y'all.